Our chronological Bible reading for June 26th is 1 Kings 15:25 through the end of chapter 16 and 2 Chronicles 17. Because. The most important word, I think, in our reading today is the word because. Some are established as kings for an extended period of time, and some are there for just a week. And it's all because of what they chose. In 1 Kings 15, Jeroboam's family line is completely cut off. Every single one of his descendants is put to the sword because he provoked the anger of Yahweh because of his sin and his leadership of Israel into sin. Our personal decisions to sin or not to sin will inspire other people to sin or not to sin. Whether we realize it or not, there are people watching us. There are children who are going to receive from us the legacy that we choose to create. We are either walking with God or we are walking opposed to Him. And we must understand that. In 1 Kings 16, the word of God came against Baasha because of all of the evil he had done. After Baasha, his son Elah becomes king. Elah is cut off because he walked in the sins of his father. Zimri is next. He actually takes his own life as he burns down the palace around him. And verse 19 tells us this happens because of his sin. He did what was evil. He walked in the ways of Jeroboam. Every one of these kings left a legacy that was shortened, that was cut off because of their choices. And the kings are getting worse and worse. After Zimri is Omri. Omri walks in all of the ways of Jeroboam, and he is cut off. Omri's son Ahab then becomes king, and we're told that Ahab does more evil than any who had gone before him. And if that weren't enough, Ahab marries Jezebel, and their union takes the evil over the house of Israel to even greater heights. And it's because of their choices. In the 2 Chronicles 17, we are given an alternative. We are given another man, this Jehoshaphat, who is son of Asa, who had been righteous, although he faltered in his last 5 years. Verse 3 says, "Now Yahweh was with Jehoshaphat because he walked in the former ways of his ancestor David. He did not seek the Baals, but sought the God of his father and walked by his commands, not according to the practice of Israel." He didn't do what the people around him were doing. He didn't do what the majority was doing. He did what he knew to be right, and because of that, God was with him. Don't we all desire to have God with us? Don't we long to see God move like he did in the book of Acts? Don't we want to be anointed with that kind of power like the first century church was? It is available to us if we will do what God says to do in His Word. Maybe we need to break out of modern cultural Christianity and step back into living by faith in the Word of God, taking it seriously and applying it to our lives. Jesus said for us to heal the sick, not to just pray for them. What if we learned to do that? What if we discovered what that meant to walk in the authority that he has deputized us with? What if we, like Jehoshaphat, made a decision today to walk according to what this word says for us to do? No matter how controversial it was, no matter how opposed it is to what most Christians do or what we grew up with, what if we accepted the word of God at face value and walked in it? The lesson in today's reading is that when these people chose to walk according to the ways of the world and worship the gods of this world, because of their actions, God separated himself from them and he cut them off. Opposed to them is this Jehoshaphat, who, because he honored God and walked in his commands, God was with him. Don't we want God to be with us? Let us do what Jehoshaphat did. He sought the God of his father and walked by his commands, not according to the practice of Israel. And as a result, in verse 5, so Yahweh established the kingdom in his hand. Then all of Judah brought him tribute. He had riches and honor in abundance. Even his enemies began to bless him. In verse 10, it says, the terror of Yahweh was on all the kingdoms of the lands that surrounded Judah, so they didn't fight against Jehoshaphat. Some of the Philistines also brought gifts, and they brought him silver as a tribute. The Arab people around him began gifting him flocks of sheep and goats. He became wealthy as he received gifts from his enemies because God was with him, because he chose to honor God. This word is preserved for us for a reason. God is saying, if you walk with me, if you keep my commands, if you honor me and don't live the way the worldly Christian lives, if you do what the word says, he will be with you. He will establish you. He will bless you. Even your enemies will be at peace with you. To do this takes great faith. And faith comes by hearing and hearing the Word of God. We must devote ourselves to getting the Word of God in us because it builds our faith. Hebrews 11 says, without faith it is impossible to please God. It takes faith to believe that God is and that he rewards those who diligently seek him. God promises if we seek him, we will find him. Let us be a people who are continually seeking, who are devoted to finding him in this word. And as we do that, he will bless us. He will establish us. He will open up the floodgates of heaven and pour out a blessing upon us that is uncontainable. God even says for us to test him in this. What if we gave him the very first fruits of our day, our affection, our time? What if we asked him to grow our capacity so that we could study his word more? How many of us would have the faith to walk in that? I think we all get as much God as we want. How much of him do you want? And how much of you are you willing to give him? If any part of this message is from God, may he establish that in you today. May he speak to you. May he fill you with his spirit. May he increase your desire for him and your love for his word, for his glory, for your good, and for the advancement of his kingdom in your life today and in the days to come. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.